Good morning, everybody. How are ya? I know it's been a couple days since we've done this. I haven't even lit my candles yet, so I'm gonna do that, and I just want to talk a little bit about the school shooting. I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but I just saw it. I don't watch the news. I I watch YouTube, and guess where I saw it? Archangel Michael, please protect us. Sacred space. Anything in our highest good, please come through. I have no words, guys. This world is, I don't even want to say triggering. It's bringing a lot of pain to people who aren't ready for the ascension. I have no words. I really don't. I was around when the shootings occurred. They seem to be very common, or maybe not common, but prevalent when my kids were little, about 25 years ago, give or take. And it was heartbreaking then, and it's heartbreaking now, and I think it's even more so heartbreaking now because so many people are awake and so many people know what's up. And I know that the situation that's happening is I don't want to say it's in everybody's highest good, but it's not. It's just not. It just sucks. And my heart goes out to the families of those that were killed. Yeah. So I'm going to take a moment of silence in honor of those fallen children and heroes. And if you would do so with me, please, as well. If not, then skip ahead 60 seconds and I'll start the reading. Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. Okay. I'm going to do something different today, like I haven't already. 4 minutes in and I haven't even shuffled a card. I'm going to be using the Alice in Wonderland deck, tarot deck. Actually, I'm going to be using Oracle. I typically read tarot, and I just kind of had a feeling lately that I needed to look more at the Oracle cards. I usually do an Oracle at the end for kind of an advice, but something told me today that that is not what is needed. So we're going to do it this way. I apologize if I'm saying too much, you guys. I'm still in a little bit of shock over this thing. Whew. Okay, good energy. All right. God, can you give us a card for today that is in our highest good, messages that we may need to know. Messages that we need to know in our highest good, only in our highest good. Wow. I can't even shuffle cards, you guys. Wow. Crazy. Okay, let's try again. Wow, I guess. All right. Well, those are the cards that want to come out. We're not even shuffling. Interesting card. No need to fear. Remember how powerful you are. She looks absolutely heartbroken. But what I'm seeing in this card is she's not alone. And I can only think of the children that were in that school that were super scared when all of the chaos was happening and the tornado of violence was occurring around them. In our lives, guys, we can get really caught up in the day-to-day. Really caught up in what I refer to as the 3D, you know, just run around, get your stuff done, you know. I personally have been kind of on overdrive with that, trying to get my office space set up. And, you know, I know I've neglected my readings, and that is something that I enjoy, and I need to not do that. But getting the office space set up, making sure that people have what they need that are depending on me, and doing my best to be a good mother to my children as well as to myself, right? I seldom remember to thank those around me that are not of this world. Those that remember to turn my light on for me. It's only when something like this happens, something tragic, something big, that we remember to get on our knees and pray and show gratitude for the things that we do have, that our children weren't in that school that day, or we were somehow divinely protected, and we, you know, missed by seconds the plane that crashed, or you know, got hung up behind somebody driving slow, only to turn out that 5 miles down the road there was a fatal car accident that happened. We are protected, guys. We don't need to fear. And after a situation like what happened in I don't even know where it was. I was so upset. Situation that happened at the school. There's still no need to fear. You know, don't run around and go crazy trying to protect yourself. You know, you don't need to fear what could have happened, because it didn't. So don't live there. I'm not saying that it's not tragic. I'm not saying that it doesn't deserve its moment of silence. But I am saying that, you know, don't turn around and be completely overprotective of your kids. Maybe hug them a little tighter when they go to school, but let them go to school. You know, there's no need to fear. You are powerful. I'm going to read from the book on this oracle. It's number 18, which reduces to a 9, which is the end of a cycle. No need to fear. Alice knew it was the rabbit coming to look for her, and she trembled until she shook the house, quite forgetting that she was now about 1,000 times as large as the rabbit and had no reason to be afraid of it. Your fears, guys, can grow in size when they stay in your mind. When you don't remember how powerful you are, that you are co-creating with God, universe, that you are divinely protected, that you are here for a purpose, and the purpose is going to be served regardless. If you remember that, then fear can't get hold of you. You can't live your life in fear. Once you realize how truly big you are, then, I mean, look at this. Look at the shark. Look how small it is in comparison to her. Look how big these little birds are, right? It's not, what do they say? What's that saying? It's not the size and the fight, it's the fight and the size, or something to that effect. I can't remember the exact thing. I'm curious about this fish, though. I kind of want to read more about it, because it looks like a koi fish to me, but I'm not sure what it's got coming out of its mouth. And I feel like it's significant, so we'll keep going. When we are in unfamiliar circumstances and we feel confronted by the events unfolding about us, which in no... Excuse me. Oh, sorry guys. I had to spray bug spray earlier and it's making me sneeze. Which in so many ways entered our lives through choices we made. We can feel fearful, doubtful, even intimidated. We may be nervous, appeasing, and diminished in the circumstances. Despite the strangeness of all of that is about... Excuse me. Despite the strangeness of all that is about you, this card has come to remind you of your substance, your power, and your right to be assertive and to take up space. You feel frightened at the moment, but this is because you've forgotten just how much energy you have within you. Rationally, you have nothing to be frightened of. Take a moment to remind yourself of the power within you and to confront what it is you've been hiding from. You are larger, more immense, more impressive, and more influential than you currently believe. Remind yourself of all the fine qualities you have, your wit, your courage, your strength, your tenacity, and you will find your courage again. You will realize you are more than equal to those about you and more than able to cope with the circumstances you find yourself within. Like Alice, you are larger than that which you are afraid of. Remember this now and go forward with confidence and strength. You may feel afraid out of habit, not out of reason, feeling intimidated but without need. Remember how many reasons you have to feel confident. Go forward with courage. You're more powerful than you're feeling. Others cannot harm you as you are so strong. We did not get it in reverse, so I'm not going to read that. This actually reminds me of something that happened yesterday. I was laughing. There's a few things that happened yesterday. I take an intuitive class with a mentor. I guess I'll call her my mentor. Someone who I admire and I've watched on YouTube for a couple of years now. And actually the reading that drew me to her, her name is The Birthday Gift, was her past lives readings. And actually I think I might go back and listen to it again, but I remember resonating with it a lot and thinking that I was, I don't remember the exact reading and I wish I did right now, but I just remember feeling fear as a result of this reading, and I had to change something, I had to do something. At any rate, I digress. The class I take is with her, and we had the class last night, and so we did an exercise and whatnot, and my turn got skipped. I didn't say anything, I didn't want to. I didn't want to rock the boat, right? We had a good momentum going. People were talking, and there was a lot of really good knowledge being passed around, and I didn't want to disrupt that. And it was one of my my co-students, I guess you would call them, that piped up real quick and said, well, Monica didn't get to go yet. And for those of you that don't know, I my birth name is Monica, and I legally changed it to Sonora. So if there's any confusion about that, at any rate, in some cases I still go by Monica because I'm in transition. And So Natasha, apologized and said, "Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I did that, blah, blah, blah." So we, did my thing and we moved on. Then we did another exercise where we had these words, and it was a word association, the first word that comes to your mind. And let me just tell you guys, my mind is not normal. For lack of a better way to say it, I don't even know what the heck was happening with me last night, but some of the stuff that popped up in my head when she said a word, I was like, where did that come from? But I had to laugh again because she skipped the word mother. And I've been really focused and meditating on my role as a mother, right? I have 2 adult children. They're about to be 27, 28 years old. And to give you some idea of where I'm at with them, I have 3 dogs. One is 4, and the other 2 dogs are over a year old, and I'm still giving all 3 of them puppy food. So if that doesn't tell you what's going on with that. But anyway, I digress. It was funny because I kept getting skipped or not heard or just feeling like I didn't have a voice, right? Why didn't I have a voice? Why did I have as much to share as I do to gain in this class. And I don't know why I felt so intimidated or why I felt like I was a burden or like I was going to be disrupting class. I had to stay quiet. I had to just take what was dished out, if you will. And not that it was intentional. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was completely, obviously, some sort of message that I have since received in that standing by and just letting people see me as invisible is not okay. And it took a fellow student standing up for me. And again, not that it was intentional, and I don't mean I was bullied or anything like that at all. It's all metaphoric, guys, please. It was a complete and honest mistake. It was not a big deal. But I've meditated on it, and I've really tried to figure out, when things like that happen, there's a message there for us, right? We don't always know what it is. So the bottom line in this 14-minute rant that I've had on the no need to fear is remember that you are powerful, that you do hold the universe within you, that you can call on God at any time, and God is unconditional love. And when you're scared, think of God as the mom, right? The mom that I tried to be, that maybe I fell short on. The mom I'm sure my mom tried to be and fell short on. That wants to comfort you and give you sanctuary, right? You fall, you skin your knee, and you go and you run home and you cry to mom, and she hugs you and she wipes your tears away and she puts Band-Aid on it. That's unconditional love. That's what God has for us. It doesn't matter what we did. It doesn't matter what we said or what mistakes we've made or what stumbling blocks we've come across. God's never gonna not love you, ever. And he's never gonna not forgive you, ever. It would be better if you owned it. It would be better if you showed remorse, but it's not going to change the outcome. You are powerful, and you have God in your corner. And I mean, how much more powerful do you need to be, right? From there, we've got, this one's in reverse, which is funny because I didn't, there's a way to shuffle tarot and oracle cards to get reversals, and I didn't do that. And as you can see, it's 1 reversal, or, well, 2, and a couple. Anyway, there's no reason for us to have this reversal. So this one is, you can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present. When it's in the reverse, well, let's analyze it first. So we've got the eagle. Eagle spirit is seeing things as the big picture, right? You can't go back to yesterday, but you certainly can remember it and learn from it, right? What is that saying? Those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it, or something to that effect. And it's number 44, which is, well, the 2 4s, I feel like instead of it reducing to an 8, it's more like a emphasized 4, which is stability, right? And maybe things were stable yesterday, and metaphorically yesterday, and maybe they're not so stable right now, and you can't go back. But look at things from a higher perspective. They weren't always stable in your life. It's been oceans, right? It's been waves of stability and instability your whole life. So your success rate's 100%. So don't sweat the small stuff, right? I mean, it feels big, and I get that, and but you can't unring a bell, and you can't go back to yesterday. So be in the present. But we did get the card in reverse, so I am gonna look and see what the book says with that, because I feel like it's just saying that you're actually kind of doing it right, where you are learning from the past and you're not living there. You can't go back to yesterday. And the Griffin said, "Come, let's hear some of your adventures." "I could tell you all my adventures, beginning from this morning," said Alice a little timidly. "But it's no use going back to yesterday, because I was a different person then." I love that. I love that, because how many times have you not seen a person in 10, 12, 15 years, and you get together and you're expecting that same person that you knew 15 years ago. And, obviously the first thing you notice is physical, right? They're tall, or they're short, or they're fat, or they're thin, or they're this, or they're that, because it's the visual, right? It's what we see first. And then we start talking, and we realize that a whole 15 years, I mean, it's a lifetime for some people, and those people aren't the same people. So are you judging them based on who they were 15 years ago? Or are you giving them the opportunity to show you who they are today? This card, when it's in reverse, living in the past, speaking of past events, musing over what was, nostalgia, believing you are the same as you once were, living through stories rather than experiences. Memory overrides the present, no anticipation of the future. Not great, guys. I mean, we have to live in the present. We have to move forward. We have to know. We have to first treat ourselves as our new selves before anybody else can, because if we continue to let people treat us, good, bad, or otherwise, the same as they always have, then we are living in the past. We're not allowing our new selves to shine through. And that's what's trying to happen. So if you're being met with a lot of resistance lately, maybe God's trying to tell you, you know what? You've changed. It's time to act like it. Things can't stay the same. They're like water. They're in constant motion. It's a river of your life, They say in the river you can't touch the same drop of water twice. Keep that in mind. It's time to go with the flow. And that is a saying that it drives me insane. It really does. I don't really like it. But I can't think of a better phrase to use to describe this, Remember who you were, but be who you are. Our next card out is, it's always tea time. Eternity. Endless moments. Repetition. I feel like this is almost like the world card. And look at our character here. He's literally hypnotized, right? He's asleep, and she's like, oh my God, here we go again. Are you serious? Like, can we just get this over with? And I feel like that is telling us that there's cycles that repeat. And in tarot, it would be the world card and then the Fool, right? The difference is, guys, that we come at the situation a little bit different. and we handle it a little bit different. So we get a different outcome, right? And so I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about the Fibonacci sequence. I'm a huge, it fascinates me. But it's a spiral, right? And I'm going to try to kind of draw it, but you know, it goes out just a little further every time, right? And therein lies the differences, right? Because it's like that movie, The Butterfly Effect. One little tiny change and the whole, you know, rest of Kaylee's life is completely different. And that poor girl in that movie, he fucks with her so bad. Until he just stops and just lets her be. And that's when she's successful, right? I heard recently with this spiral and my whole theory that I've basically lived by for a few years now is that the spiral is not flat, right? It's actually three-dimensional. And it's not going out. Guys, we started out here. It's going in. We are working on our unity with God. We are working on returning to that unconditional love and abundance that we came from. So I had it backwards this whole time in my mind. I don't know if you guys think of it that way or not, but in my mind, I was thinking one situation and then it would happen and I would handle it like this. And then it would happen again and I would handle it like this. You know, with more knowledge. It made sense logically in my head. What's happening is it's here and we know nothing about it. Or we think we know everything about it. And then we realize we don't. We realize we don't. And it's actually backwards. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to read from the book real quick. Is that the reason there's so many... Is that the reason so many tea things are put out here, she asked. Yes, that's it, said the Hatter with a sign. It's always tea time. A change in schedules, repetition, cycles, patterns, and loops, situations being repeated, being trapped by schedules that need to be changed. A wonderful time to challenge the order in which things are done, reworking traditions so they're more aligned with the way that you see the world. Guys, we don't always have to approach things the same way. Don't get me wrong, don't reinvent the wheel. You know, if something's working and it's efficient, great. But there's patterns that we've learned that don't work. Get rid of them. Drop them. They're not yours. Question them. Ask where they came from. See if they're yours. If they're not yours, get them the hell out of your life. They don't belong there. You cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. That jumped in my head. Okay, I've got 2 cards left. I know, you guys, this is like super long for me. Normally it's like a 10-15 minute reading, but here we go. All right, so then we got 13. All must have prizes, trying to please everyone. But we got that in the reverse. Look at the sadness. She literally is like, is there anybody out there who loves me? And she just, all she wants to do is make the world happy, make everybody else happy. But is it worth it to make them happy if you look like that at the end? I think not, guys. I mean, my goodness. I do see the rainbow in there, which, you know, there's a, what do you say, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? But I'm not even sure she can see it. So all must have prizes. At last, the dodo said, everybody is one and all must have prizes. But who is to give the prizes? Quite a chorus of voices asked. Why, she, of course, said the dodo, pointing to Alice with one finger. And the whole party at once crowded around her and calling out in a confused way, prizes, prizes. When we get this in the reverse, this is clearly knowing what is best for you, refusing to praise or give energy where it's not warranted, easily choosing between what is better for you and what would not serve you, being more concerned with honesty and truth than with keeping everyone happy. I mean, my God, you guys, I'm about to do a jig. Holy crap, isn't that what we've been working towards? Isn't that the unconditional love of self that we've all been chasing our entire lives? And you're there. And you're there. I mean, you're there. You're doing it. It's exactly, it is shedding that codependent layer. It is not giving your adult dogs puppy food anymore. Oh my gosh. All right, and the last card we've got. Find a lesson. We had an argument about this word the other day, lesson. Because lesson implies that you're in school, right? And we aren't in school, and there are lessons. I get that. But I really, it's got such a negative connotation to it. It makes me feel unworthy when you say lesson. Like, learn your lesson. You did something wrong. You better learn your lesson. So I like to use the word knowledge instead. I feel like it gives me a little more empowerment, maybe. Like I'm not in trouble. Like I'm not 5. But anyway, I digress. Find the lesson. Discover the purpose in a situation and trust that you're learning. But we did get it in the reverse. So the first thing that jumps out at me with this card is she's wearing the dark blue, which is looking to me like throat chakra. And look at that. I feel like that's gossip right there, right? And you got this Cheshire cat down here. He's like, yeah, buddy. He probably created the whole freaking mess. You know, those people that stir the pot. I used to tell my kids, you know, you want to stir the pot? I'll get you a chef's hat and a spoon. You can stir the pot. But anyway, and then you've got these like guides over here. Like she's not really paying attention to them, but they're trying to talk to her. They're trying to tell her something, but she's too busy listening to the gossip. So find the lesson, but we did get it in reverse. So let's see what the book has to say about that. So number 29. I know this is kind of weird reading, guys. I'm sorry. Well, no, you know what? I'm not sorry, because it's what somebody needs to hear. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just doing it for me. Who knows? Maybe you're learning my lesson with me. Who knows? Find the lesson. Discover the purpose in the situation. Trust that you are learning. Perhaps it hasn't won, Alice ventured to remark. Tut, tut, child, said the Duchess. Everything's got a moral, if only you can find it. When it's in the reverse, the reversal of this card amplifies the confusion you may be feeling. A challenging time that feels very unfair. There is a reason. It may be too hard to even begin to contemplate that there could be a higher purpose to the situation right now. Give yourself a little bit of space and be patient with yourself. Don't struggle to find the reason. Just find a way to make it through what is happening. So I feel like that wraps up the way we started. Now is not the time to find the lesson for what happened to those children at the school yesterday. It is time to get through it. It's time to show the world our unconditional love. And as our hearts go out to those families of that victims that are in a level of pain right now that I probably could never fathom. It's not time to find the lesson. It's not time to learn. It's not time to find any knowledge in it. It's time to heal, and it's time to love, and it's time to show compassion. And I feel like the bigger message there is that's where the world is at right now, guys. Everybody's hurting. Everybody is just trying to find their way and figure out their next move, or for some people where their next meal is coming from. It's not time to teach lessons. It's not time to find lessons. It's not time to gain knowledge necessarily, although there's knowledge to be gained by everything. It's time for love. And just love. Unconditional love. God energy love. The love that knows no limits. The love that exists no matter how terrible you are. The love that exists only in God, because if it existed in us, we'd be in heaven. So I'm gonna leave it there, guys, and I am gonna just show you real quick the pictures that I put up last night. All you need is love and believe in miracles. So I will leave you with that advice. All right, guys, I love ya. We'll talk soon.